print and cut out your template and then place it on your roll out slab, and then use a needle tool and to trace along the template on the clay slab, and then use a sharp knife and then to cut out accordingly. There's one thing you have to pay attention is when you start to assemble it, it is better to wait till the clay is in the ladder stage, is a little bit less floppy. And at the end of this video, there is some tips on rolling out the clay and drying out the clay slab to ladder stage. That is for much easier assembling. Assembling the bird. So we got 2 pieces of this, of the bird body, and some strips. So we need to attach this to here. So what we will do the scoring all the way if you don't have one of these, just use a knife and do a lot of crisscross scoring. And joining clay together is always score and slip. Slip is just dry powdered clay mixed with water to a consistency like yogurt, and then apply generously. When you're joining 2 pieces of clay here together, then what you will do, you overlap it from this side to overlap it, and then use a knife to do an angle cut like this. Take this piece away and that, and then you can join it together so it's nicely fit. Then of course make sure that you have to score and slip. It will be very good to enforce it with a piece of sausage. So basically what you will do, you get some clay, roll it out, to a thin piece of sausage, and put it in here and to enforce the joint. So use a wooden tool, then press the clay into the joint there. What you will do is use your wooden tool to go on the side here and really scrape it and make sure the joint is joined really well. We can put the other side of the bird on. So again, do a lot of scoring. And slip. Once you have assembled the bird, it's still a bit too floppy for you to keep tidy up. So I would suggest that use a hair dryer to give it a little blast and fasten the drying process a bit. But don't dry it too much. Just I want it to stiffen up a little bit more so it's much easier to handle and tidy up the edges. The bird is assembled, then we cut out the candle template and to make the candle part. So overlap the circle here. I would suggest you make it, the diameter is quite wide, because once you fire your clay, it will shrink. So you overlap at an angle cut, overlap it a little bit at an angle cut, and again screw and slip. So now we will put this on here. It all depends how your bird is sitting. Is it sitting like this or sitting like this? So that is the way I decided to have it. So I give it a tap to flatten the bottom. That's how we will sit. So you put the candle part on here. So what you will do is, maybe you can see it here like that. Do a little bit dot here and then take that bit away, and then I'll do a little circle cut before I attach the candle part. Once you got the hole here, maybe it's also an idea if you find your bird somewhere on the surface here is a bit dented, so you can use a brush to put it in and poke it out. So do a little bit poke. But if your clay slab is a bit leather stage, then you won't have so many dents. It will still be a very nice surface. So, but if you do have that problem, so while you have this hole, and then do this, yeah. So you screw and slip, yeah, push it out a little bit here, that I don't want it to be dented so much, and then same as this side, screw and slip. Thin piece of noodle to strengthen the joint. Now do a proper cut. Look at the, can you see that? Look at that. The hole is smaller than candle. Leave it like that because you also want your candle to be able to sit there without falling through into the bird body. So leave it like that. But now you can decide, if you look at it from a distance when it's standing, if you want these, you can cut it to whatever height you want. Once you clean it quite well, then we can start to put the wings on. The wings, cut out a piece of thin slab, doesn't have to be that thick. Put your bird, the template on, use a needle to trace the ring. And then cut out the wing. And what you will do slip and score. Make sure that you clean the bird before you put the wings on. So then it's up to you where you position the wings, something like this. And also put some eyes on. The eyes is basically is 2 circles, one big circle and a smaller circle. Put that on. So once we roll out the clay, it's very important to understand how stiff the clay is, how dry the clay is. This is straight out from the bag. You roll it out, it's got no strength. If I want to build tall, it just flop. Okay? If you let the piece of slab dry for a few hours in an airy place or under a fan, it depends how airy your place is. But as you can see that it's hardened a little bit. That is called the ladder stage, the early on ladder stage. It got strength when you build up, and then it's got the strength to build tall. When you're rolling out clay's slab, so make sure that you flip and roll in all directions. Keep flipping it and keep rolling in all directions. Pay attention to those trapped air. If you do see a bubble trap air, just poke it a bit. Then you'll get rid of those trapped air. So it's got a lot of lines and creases and all that. You can use a spatula just to smooth the clay. Then you get rid of all those markings. So